Stefan, Klaus, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. This is quite a show. It's insane how there are so many cars here and really so many things to look forward in terms of what's coming in the future. What would you find to be some examples of stuff you like? What do you see when you walk the show floor?
Well, I think, of course, first we like the stuff we showed up with, our show cars, the Smart 4 Vision and the F125 together with Klaus and his team. Really, I mean, Volkswagen shows up with a great study. It's called Niels, and there are all the other guys, BMW and the others, who have very interesting design and technical solutions, because the German industry in general is a very strong car industry related to the future.
Is it almost a competition amongst people like yourself in these different departments between all the different companies? Do you look at what other people do and then you see what you do? Is there a sense of pride in when you bring something out like this to kind of show them like, we've got this, even though they may have something else, but there are all these different approaches.
Competition makes us people in all industries getting the best answers, getting the best products, and that's a part of the game. That's something that really fires our house, and Mercedes-Benz, we've been always the ones, mostly the ones to be looked on. What are they doing? What's their next innovation? So the house is full of innovations, but it's a competition, of course, and that gives a push every day.
What do you find to be the biggest challenge moving forward as an industry, and how is Mercedes coming up with answers for those problems?
Well, first of all, you need to solve the primary technological challenges. That is maturity of the technology, energy storage, availability of renewable energy, things like that. But after that, it's actually a team play. The goal for sustainability or responsibility for our world is very clear for everybody. So there's no discussion on that. And that makes it easy for us to sort of guide the development towards the same direction.
But in even some years' time, not many years, under 5, many of these ideas can go into serial production.
Well, let's talk about that. So the 125, it has a range of 650 miles, correct?
Yeah.
1,000 K.
1,000 kilometers.
1,000 K.
650 miles, right.
650. And from a design standpoint of view, what do you find from that we could actually see in 5 years? And then what do you see from that we could actually see in 15 years? Are we capable of having 650 miles that far away?
I think we can see that. I mean, we've showed the feasibility of fuel cell technology, and we're in series production. Also, we are very sure that the individual mobility will need to be seamless in the future. Seamless with the car, seamlessly interacting with your daily life, seamlessly interacting with infotainment. That's going to be one intermingling experience, and we'll see quite a few pieces of the F125 in the future realized in production series cars.
Yeah, material, navigation system, touch panels, technologies. There's a lot, especially in the interiors, which can be and will be shown out on this planet in serial production soon. Quite soon, I think.
We can walk up to the car later on, just look at the 3D central display, using the third dimension for safety aspects, displaying information in a different way than today, and using this technological capability to support the driver.
As you found with your studies, where do you think the driver is in 10, 15 years? What is going to be the most important thing to a driver? Is it going to be being connected? Is it still going to be about driving pleasure? Are you going to be able to get both at the same time?
Yeah. For me, it's a clear both. Driving is fun, driving will be fun, will always be fun, and nevertheless, you do not want to reduce driving and your pleasure to only the getting from A to B. You want it comfortable, you should have it very, very safe. So it's a seamless experience.
I think it was always a driver. Yeah. Then came the radio. You listened to music. Then came the more intelligent systems later in the 80s and the 90s. The navigation systems, all internet-related systems, sound and information. So the driver was always here in his kind of world of loving to drive and to move himself mobile around the world or the countries and the other thing came up. Yeah, it speeded up. So I think now we have a balance. Now we are in this time where we have almost a balance between fully loaded electronic systems in the interior, steering him, entertaining him, connecting him, and still the fun to drive, the pride to have this car, mainly Mercedes, if you want to be proud, I hope. This is still remaining. It's 50-50, and they will grow with each other.
Do you think that's what it needs to be? Does there need to be a balance?
Obviously, the people want it. Not only for the driver, also the passenger needs and wants more entertainment. Look what happens to the kids in the back. Look what the passenger can do, assisting the driver or having its own world working. Look all the assistance systems which control the driver. Is he fit? Is he tired? What does he need? And the next step might be autonomous driving. Yes. So that may be something where both leads also into a new kind of future world. But the fun to drive, even with a car that allows you to autonomic driving, will still be there. The guy wants to switch on the button and wants to drive the last 5 kilometers, I'm sure. Fun to drive is something, and the sportiness of Mercedes design and cars is answering this need also in the future.
You bring up an interesting point about having that sporty feel. It being there when you want it to be there.
Exactly.
The past decade, we've seen an onslaught of new technologies that assist the drivers. Some may even say make drivers worse at driving the car because the car is so good at what it does. How would you interpret that? Do you think these technologies, obviously, this is the future for all automobiles, where the technology is helping you, but do you feel a sense of motivation to keep the driver involved with the experience?
It's a sweet spot that we're looking for, and I think we found a very nice one in the F125 between driving pleasure, the experience that you combine with that, and excluding situations where the driver feels uncomfortable. In the car, for example, we demonstrate an autonomous overtaking, an autonomous lane change on the highway or the Autobahn, and the driver gives the command, I want a lane change, left or right, and the safety systems in the car look at the vicinity of the car, and when it's safe, it changes the lane autonomously.
Looking at the 125, what could we see 5 years down the road, not 20 years down the road? What can we take away from that car and really think about for a future car purchase?
We'll see the fuel cell drivetrain in mass production, that's for sure. We'll see electric all-wheel drive, I'm quite sure, and all the possibilities you can encounter with that in driving pleasure, driving dynamics, driving safety. We'll see a few aspects of the display technology and also the interaction, natural speech, touchpad, as well as the LED technology of the front headlights.
At least in the EU, we will have day running light as a law, and so the car will always glow in the front and the rear, and it needs a face. It needs a signature, and that's what we are working very hard on, to give our cars a famous and well-fitting signature. Outstanding, and that's also what the F125 has, and that's something that will go into series soon, further on. But there are more things like the wheel design. There are more things like proportional rear lights, situations that might really have influence on our future fleet. Good stance, sensual design language, really sensual and sporty at the same time. And in the interiors, all the materials, silk, showing back to the glorious times.
Could we see silk in future cars?
We could see silk in special lines. Look at Asia. Look at all these great
and
markets.
That's such a huge market for you
where
guys.
it comes from. I
it's
mean,
a huge market for everyone. Yeah.
In the end, you bring the material back home, if you want to say so. So why not think about it?
That's interesting.
Let the gates open.
Yeah. Very good way to look at it. Well, guys, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Thanks for having us. Thanks.
Have a pleasure at the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Don't
You
get
too.
lost in this maze.
Enjoy.
next generation of performance is here. Royal Purple's new high-performance street motor oil, HPS. Fortified with zinc phosphorus anti-wear protection, HPS exceeds the demands of high-performance and modified engines. Magnified, HPS improves metal surfaces for longer engine life. HPS's high film strength frees up more power, reduces heat and wear, plus provides greater protection. The next generation of performance is here with HPS from Royal Purple, the performance oil that outperforms.